and we praise you and we thank you. Open our hearts now to what you hold for us. God of wonders and God of surprises, God who is always with us. Open our hearts to what you seek to do. Remember the words of Jesus who you sent, who said, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Show us that abundant life. Teach us your ways. We are so grateful. And I pray now that the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart will align with the fullness, O God, of who you are, and will align with your love. Amen. In the beginning was the Word. Sing a new song to the Lord who has worked miracles. The texts today that were offered by Xavier are two iconic and powerful texts of our faith. Psalm 98 and also John 1. Both scriptures put the past and the future into perspective. It is so easy for us to get consumed with what's happening around us that it's easy to forget that God has been God all along and that God will be God ahead. Our wonder-working God is already singing a new song for the new year, as Psalm 98 says. Yes, can you imagine God singing a song? Can you imagine God singing with us and through us? We look back and various songs come to our hearts. One song that has stood the test of time is Great is Thy Faithfulness, O God, our Creator. Morning by morning, new mercies we see. No matter what's happening around us, there are new mercies every morning. One thing we could proclaim in 2025, and we now proclaim in 2026, is God is faithful, faithful, faithful. The God who has been our help in ages past goes with us now in days to come. There will be songs of lament in 2026, just like there were in 2025, and there will be songs of rejoicing. Perhaps you've been doing some reflecting on 2025. That's often a practice that we do heading into the new year. Some folks also make resolutions for the new year. I made a resolution to make no resolutions, and then I broke that resolution. So looking back at 2025, what wonders do you recall? Just take a moment. We see a wonder here on the front row today. I just have to acknowledge Solomon. Welcome to the first Sunday in 2026. We are so proud of you, and so proud of your parents and your wonderful, wonderful older sister, Hazel. There's wonders in our midst today. Wonders are all around us. What wonders do you recall? Take a moment to think of at least one wonder in your life, and then think back to the songs that you sang in 2025. Many of us have a song that's iconic in our lives, a song that we remember. What was one of your favorite songs in 2025? When we talk about singing a new song in Psalm 98, a song that's been ringing in my heart for some months is the song, God is doing something wonderful in me. God is doing something wonderful in me. And then I like to put us into that line. God is doing something wonderful in us. God is doing something wonderful in us. God is doing something wonderful in our lives. Now imagine forward. Are you ready for a new song in 2026? And what wonders do you anticipate? Every year, including 2026, holds surprises. And some will be exciting and amazing. And let's be real, others will be disconcerting. We can anticipate that there will be times of rest in 2026 and times of unrest. In fact, we've already seen some of the unrest in 2026. We acknowledge that that's life, and that has been true from the beginning. Some people we count on this year will let us down. And then other people will come into our lives to lift us and to help us. And sometimes when it comes to those letting us down, we'll find a new place of forgiveness and growth in the midst of that. As every year is, we'll experience the best and the worst. Yet we sing an ongoing song, the everlasting song and the new song. We can sing the Andre Crouch song that exclaims that through it all, through it all, through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Though we can't always count on people. After all, people are people. We can count on the one who is the Word. In the beginning was the Word. It was true in the beginning, and it is true today. The Word from the beginning is the everlasting Word, that lamp unto our feet and that light unto our path. We can count on the one who is all fullness and through whom we have all received grace upon grace. That line from verse 16, grace upon grace, is beautiful. It speaks of the grace of Moses and the law of Moses and the grace that opened. And then it speaks to the grace of the coming of Jesus. Moses, Jesus, our ancestors, coming together with grace upon grace. The grace of the Word will undergird every moment and will help us to learn from difficult times and revel in the joy of good times. 2026, make it a year of worship. Make it a year of prayer. Make it a year of learning. Make it a year of learning more and more of who God is. Who is God as we begin this new year? God is with us, Emmanuel, the God who's been there all along and shows up in new and surprising ways. God helps us to look back and see what God has done. God has been faithful and has brought us through. God invites us in this coming year to center ourselves in the Word that supplies every need in body, mind, or spirit. One invitation or one practice, I won't call it a resolution, but one invitation is to begin each day and seek a word from God, to have a word for the day. It could be words like peace. It could be words that have great meaning, like faithfulness or grace. Or if you're on a health kick, it could be a word like broccoli to start the new year. Today, I will eat more broccoli. It will help. So the words can be very sublime or it could be very basic. But ask God each day to give you a word for the day. Openness, guidance, grace, a centering in. Who is God? In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God. And the Word was God. And the Word is God. The Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. God comes home to us. So a word that's really emerging for this day is the word home. That's what these scriptures are all about, finding home in a song and finding home in the God who makes a home with us. The coming of Jesus makes it possible to know God in new and intimate ways. Home is a place of intimacy, a place of love, and Jesus comes home to us. Think about that for a moment. Think of the awesomeness of that. There is a God who wants to be with us. I just want to be where you are, in your presence. Take a moment now just to be present. Maybe even take a breath. Take a deep breath. Breath reminds us of home. When we pause to notice our breath, we come home to our bodies, our minds, our spirits. We come home to the life within us and around us. Breath is home. With a deep breath, we come home to the present moment. And perhaps the pinnacle of John 1 is verse 14, where it says, "The Word became flesh and made a home among us." The Word became a body near our bodies. We have seen this glory, the glory of the one and only who came from the creature, full of grace and truth. With Jesus, love comes home to our hearts. Our hearts become a home for love. The place in our hearts become a generous place. Take a moment now, if you've been married or in a relationship, to think back to falling in love. Perhaps it was 13 years ago in my case, or perhaps more recently. Just kind of call that moment back, a moment of knowing love and falling into love. When it comes to human relationships, we often talk about falling in love. Lots of songs that we sing are about falling in love and the beauty of love. And human love is so beautiful. Is it possible to fall in love with God? And if so, what's that like? What comes to me is that it's not so much falling in love with God that's true. It's that we were born in love. We don't need to fall in love with God because the love is already there. It's noticing what is already there. We are born in love. In the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was love. And we were born into that love in that beginning. We take a deep breath and we come home to love and come home to gratitude. We're grateful for the Christ child born in Bethlehem, also born in the hearts of Mary and Joseph and all those gathered. We're grateful for the many gifts that come from that moment and onward. We are grateful for the gift that is born anew in us with every breath. Every breath is love. Every breath is gift. We seek to comprehend the amazing love of God. God was not satisfied being distant from us. God could no longer look at a distance from a people feeling anger, despair, grief, and isolation. And so God came to be present to all the range of human experience. God, fully human, fully divine. God could also not look at a distance from people celebrating. God wanted to join the party. God wanted to join the celebration. God created a home in us and through us where there is no distance through all seasons. The longing of God becomes our longing to meet the longings of God's people. Jesus is the longing and love of God showing up in person. The place where love comes home in each of us is a generous place. We celebrate a generous home, a fullness of life and grace. One of our mentors as a congregation is the wonderful writer Howard Thurman. He offers a writing about to come home again and again. The message is keep coming home. When you find yourself pulled away and drawn away, come home again. His invitation is to create home daily, to create that space. So I offer this meditation from Howard Thurman in his book, Deep is the Hunger. Howard Thurman writes, "We must find sources of strength and renewal for our own spirits lest we perish. First, we must learn to be quiet, to settle down in one spot for a spell. Sometimes during each day, everything should stop, and the art of being still must be practiced. For some temperaments, it will not be easy because the entire nervous system and body have been geared over the years to activity, to overt and tense functions. Nevertheless, the art of being still must be practiced. If possible, find a comfortable chair or quiet spot where one may engage in nothing. There is no reading of a book, no thinking of the next course of action. One is engaged in doing nothing at all except being still. We must lose our fear of rest. We have made a fetish of fevered action. We build up our own sense of security by trying to provide a relentless, advantageous contrast between ourselves and others by the fevered, intense activities in which we are engaged. Actually, such people are afraid of quiet. Most activities become a substitute for the hard-won core of purpose and direction. The first step in the discovery of sources of strength and renewal is to develop the art of being still. Physical and mental cessation from churning. This is not all, but it is a point at which we begin. And so we begin again. Each day we create that place for home. Perhaps that could be our resolution, at least for the rest of today. Do nothing except breathe and be present and reach out to those around you in love. Love has come home. Love has come to our hearts. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, and that same Word is with us. Amen, and so it is. Amen.